Alrighty, we are live, and whoops, I forgot to give me a moment. There we go. I forgot to... OBS was still looking for Persona 5 and not Final Fantasy. But yeah, welcome back to Sorin's journey through Final Fantasy XIV. Be continuing today with the Pandaemonium raids. And I suppose we can get straight into the queue. Last time I think partly because the queues, partly because I felt like there was quite a lot of dialogue going on as well during the last stream. But I only managed to get 2 of the 4 raids finished. So, depending on how it goes, this stream might be a little shorter. If it ends up that, if my brain would work for me. Yeah, if it ends up that these queues go relatively quickly. And then hopefully, because I'm planning for the next time I'll be back to Sorin's Journey will be on Friday, and that's going to be a rather late stream, I'm hoping that, because it's going to be late my time, it'll be late enough, because I'm on a North American server, hopefully maybe more people will be online and there will be more people in queues. At least that is the hope. Whether it actually pans out like that is another question entirely. So yeah, last time we defeated was Proto-Carbuncle, the first enemy that encountered us in Abyssos. Oh, that was much quicker than last stream. Oh, can I just check the name of the other? Nope, I'll have to wait till after. But we defeated the... Was she the keyword of Abyssos? Here we go. Agdistis, I think, is this one. I'm here. Is that Agdistis? There really is. She really is gone. All right. I'm sorry. Oh. Actually, no, if, I'll only... That's the close one. If you not leave, then you shall become mine. Stay back from that one. Oh, I forgot that there's a second phase. I am Agdistis. Yes, and this is my vessel. Have I been gifted with new test subjects? This is followed with a yep. And then do we have to spread out again? I feel I remember that. No. Get away from that. Keep out of the way. Still have the volume turned up so to listen to Scream in the background. Ow. Perhaps you require more room for heroics. At least we've got bridges. I should have mitigated a little bit of that, shouldn't I? Alright. Still doing well. I sense convergences of ether. Beware what they may spawn. What are... minions? Stay away from those ones. Oh, I'm in a bad place to be. Ooh. That was dumb. Forgot how to read that attack. We are... the birds do line attacks, don't they? Leave me to my research. I shall give you ground on which to fight, but you must move deftly. Is this where we need to spread out? Okay, not quite. Ow, I was not looking in the right place. This is one of the ones as well I was feeling confident about going into. I thought I remembered this fight better. Let's run it home. Now what? Out of the middle. Just a little more. We did it. I'm sorry there's not more we can do for you. She really was already far more gone than the others. Themis? Lahabrea? The moment Agdistis was slain, the flow of ether and Pandaemonium focused keenly on this location, creating a tunnel of sorts through which we could quickly convey ourselves. It was almost as if we were ushered here. This space was created with care, and concealed with powerful wards. Only a key ward would have been able to detect it, and even then with great difficulty. Ergo, He wants us to be here. Or... Wait... Is that... If only I could restore Tartarus to order. But I'm afraid this is the most I can manage with such power as remains to me. It has been too long, Master Lahabrea. Likewise, Keyword Agdistus. I should not be surprised you were able to break free of Hephaestus' spells, even diminished as you were. It was not an easy task, even with your aid. His curses dig into one's heart, creating a storm of emotions that is all too easy to become lost in. Only by chance did a fragment of myself remain, illuminating a path through the madness. And thus I am able to appear before you now, even while my body was powerless to resist Hephaestus' commands. Some small part of my logical mind stood alone in defiance. It even managed to speak to the outside world. The report. That was you. Doubtless you recognize my voice from the many times I've called out to you. The hope that those pleas would not fall on deaf ears was all that kept me from succumbing to hopelessness. You were the one calling out all this time? But I have a greater purpose here than simply saying my farewells. There is something you must know, that the tragedies of the past do not repeat in the present. Forgive me for what I'm about to do, Master Lahabrea, but the story must be told. It is the only way to understand Hephaestus' fixation on Ericthonios. No longer can you hide your heart away. What's... What? That's... Ericthonios. No, not Ericthonios, it's, I can't... Hephaestus? No, the mask marks him as Lahabrea. Wait a minute. Hello, Mooney. Welcome to the stream. Master Lahabrea had... Oh. Okay, this is not the... This is the one that's actually talking to us. Master Lahabrea had brought an end to Lady Athena's life, and sealed away a part of his memories and emotions within Hephaestus. These are my recollections of the moments following. Yep, you did miss the Agdistus fight. I didn't do as well as I thought I would, despite it being a fight I'm much more familiar with than the others. And you truly have no intention of revealing the truth to Ericthonios. My lesser half is now buried where none can find it. We would be wise to do the same with our memory of this day. Blood should not sway the spirit so, but Athena's teachings have warped the boy. I fear he would see our star burn to keep his mother safe. Ericthonios believes that he feels love, but he is shackled by dependence. He could not bear the truth. His dependence makes it all the more important to be open with him. He will seek answers about his mother's loss, which shall inevitably lead him to you. Are you willing to accept the blame for Athena's death? Are you willing to accept your son's hatred? If that is what comes to pass, then so be it. Better to be burdened with hatred than the knowledge that Athena thought his body and soul mere tools, to be used and discarded. Even were I to tell him what his mother plotted, he would ever seek reasons to believe that the true fault lies with me, or with him. Should he merely hate me, he will remain unfettered by doubt, free to serve this star far from his parents' shadow. What happened? Ericthonios loved his mother more than life itself, and yet, what a dreadful truth you've borne all this time. Such is Lahabrea's nature. Every action, every word a solution to life's greatest dilemmas, and none to spare for his own. What I have revealed... Let me English again. What I have revealed to you is but a small portion of a larger picture. I shall leave it to Lahabrea to paint the rest for you. And for Ericthonios, I hope. Thank you, Ericthonios. I always admired you, you know. What choice did I have, when you sacrificed so much to guide our star to the heavens? Hephaestus has doubtless sensed that his final keyword has fallen. We should return to the surface before he moves to strike us here. If we are to face him, we must be prepared to bring our full strength to bear. Of course. There really was far more to Lahabrea than I ever saw back in Eorzea. It was Ericthonios' hatred of his father that caused him to fall victim to Hephaestus' magics. Yet the roots of that hatred were born from a son's love. A love nurtured not by a mother caring for her offspring, but by a researcher creating the ideal test subject. Pandaemonium abounds with demons indeed. Ericthonios was ever a bold woman, even in her final moments. And she would unearth the secrets of my past for all to look upon. Still, full glad am I that she faced you as her last opponent. I could think of none more worthy to send her soul off to the other side. It's a little odd to hear words like that coming from... Is this really the same person I knew back in... The vision you saw told the story far more eloquently than I ever could. Athena was consumed by her research, and was willing to sacrifice her own child if it hastened her progress. She did not offer him a position here out of a sense of love or pride. It was merely because she knew he would be the most pliable test subject. I see now why you hid the truth from him. I cannot say of certainty that Ericthonios could handle the weight of such betrayal, after holding his mother on a pedestal for so long. Unfortunately, it seems not even her death has ensured his safety. Hephaestus has taken up Athena's research, and succeeded in creating Hemiphioi. I know not what his ultimate end is, but 'tis plain it is connected with the resurrection of Athena. That knowledge alone is sufficient to direct our next course of action. As for the rest of your story, we shall hear it after we have returned Ericthonios to safety, in accordance with Actistus' last wish. Very well. I can, at least, assure that finding him shall prove relatively simple, now that Hephaestus can no longer bend Pandaemonium to his will. Right, he doesn't have the power of the keywords anymore. There is but one place left for him to find refuge. The Black Heart of Tartarus, where Athena built her testing compound. We can assume that Hephaestus will offer fierce resistance. I must focus my every effort on securing a safe means of approach. Well, I suppose just leave the fighting to me then. It's been a rough few fights, but I think I can handle whatever comes next. Lahabrea, I would ask that you assume the duty of summoning Sorin's phantom warriors. I have no objections. My ability to fight within Tartarus would be greatly diminished in any case. However, I wish to deal the final blow to Hephaestus myself. There's no need to dirty your hands of such a deed. I take it then you have no intent to seal him away as before. The presence I felt when I encountered Hephaestus bore little resemblance to the entity I created. By his own hand he has become something far more wicked. And the same magics that once shackled him may very well shatter before the power he wields. On my pride as a researcher, I am loath to repeat the same mistake twice. I would not see these events play out again, and so he must be extinguished. Right. It's just a part of him. I don't quite know what Hephaestus is, but I suppose it really is for the best. Well then, I shall open the way forward. May we finish this together. The 8th circle. All right. If Hephaestus truly means to continue Athena's research, then Ericthonios is indispensable to his goals. He is safe, but for how much longer I cannot say. I probably shouldn't bother Themis. If we can deal with Hephaestus, then Pandaemonium should be secure again, right? Just hope we can get down there before anything happens to Ericthonios. I'm just queuing again, but the queues definitely seem like already the Actistus fight didn't take long to queue for at all. And it's looking like yeah, it looks like this one isn't going to take long either. It really is something about trying to stream Final Fantasy XIV on a schedule. It can be so unpredictable how long you have to wait on the queues. Ooh. Like, this stream is starting to look like it might not even be 2 hours. So this is Tartarus. Is that Ericthonios? He's still alive, right?
Ericthonios is mine, heart and soul. And with your death, none will be left to stop me.
I don't plan on losing here. Perfect imperfection. Is he a Epimetheus himself? Alright. I'd forgotten the Lahabrea's summoning was actually a different color too. Alright.
Rest eternal in the dark depths of this prison.
Genesis of Flames is AoE.
From fulgent flame my servants rise.
I remember this. Serpent is stand back.
Out of my sight! Leave naught but ash in your wake.
Bird is in the middle.
Let's seep sorrow into your heart.
Dragon again. Can I stand? Oh yeah, I can't stand close. Is that a cone or a line? Line, okay. Alright.
Behold the fruits of sacrifice.
Now what? The chains are... What is...
You are prey to be consumed.
Now... That's... Watch where they're going. What's Ectothermos? Oh, just another AoE. Oh. Can he only use those powers for...
Perish in flame's embrace. Go forth and sate your boundless hunger.
How wide is the AoEs on this side? Just enough to stand in the corner.
From fulgent flame my servants rise. Out of my sight!
Okay. Ooh.
I shall see my
almost lunchtime. You got a nice meal planned up for today, Mooney? This is... Now what?
You will know my rage.
Okay, so... Middle... Okay, so I want to be like here? I can remember mechanics. Keep at it.
Sear flesh from bone.
Now what? Water. Over there this time.
Leave naught but ash in your wake.
Seen this before?
I tire of this farce.
Hold on, Ericthonios. Just a little longer.
Behold the fruits of sacrifice.
Just this again.
You are prey to be consumed.
Okay, no hanging out in the middle of that this time. Guys, we've got the snake here. Boop. Oh, they're trying to greet the main boss. That's what was going on. I was getting worried. I couldn't remember what happens if you let one of those snakes get its ability off. We did it. Should still be alive. Pandaemonium Abyssos. Lahabrea. You can have the commendation as the one person who waited for me. Oh. Lahabrea did say to leave the finishing blow to him. The chain of events that led to this moment began with my error, when out of mercy I confined you here. Now I break it, and leave no trace of you behind. This is not over. What's he? I see you will not go peacefully. Ericthonios. Plan to use him as a hostage? Even a cast-off would uphold his pride. Though such an impulse must speak to the overwhelming arrogance of my other half. The name Hephaestus shall grow to eclipse yours. None shall remember the deeds of Lahabrea once I fulfill Athena's ambition and bring Ericthonius' dream to life. You speak as if you care a whit for the boy. Why then do you cower behind him? There are some desires which must not be realized. Athena would see the world destroyed if it meant she could find hers in the ruins. As for Ericthonius, he knows not what his wish would beget. A truth which you have hidden from him. Do you truly believe a father's role is to deceive and manipulate? My wish? You would claim the name Hephaestus and call yourself his father. Yet you bind his mind and body in dark chains. Your words and your pride ring hollow. Athena wanted her son by her side, and he desires to return there. What wickedness is there in mending a broken family? Athena cared naught for Ericthonios, beyond how he could serve her ends. You claim to be acting in his interest, but 'tis plain you are no different. As I ushered Athena to her end, I vowed that my sole mission in life would be to guide this star true. In service to that vow, I silenced the whispers of my heart. I could not nurture a son whilst an entire world looked to me for guidance. For that choice, I bear the responsibility. Yet he is still my son, and I'll not suffer you to seduce him with false hope. You, who are naught but the bitter dregs of Athena and I, the very worst of us. Mother, she... No. Then who? How do I... Ericthonios... What's a Sorin response? I think it would just be to call him back from... call him back from the dark side. You should be with us, Ericthonios. Don't trust him. I hear you. I owe you and Themis an apology. Athena, did you ever? Lahabrea, Also, hello, Nam. Welcome to the stream. I will have my say! He broke the bonds himself? How? His mind was mine! I can't explain. Sorin's words reached me through the haze. They rang loud and clear. As did the words of another, in a voice much like yours, but resounding with truth. Ericthonios? By himself? How? When did you master these bonds? Oh, we've interred much worse. You worthless! You... That's... a memory crystal? Ericthonios? You really did push yourself there. Are you okay? It appears my failures have borne fruit after all. — 'tis. 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 You've been searching for this comic you want? Related to anything in particular, or just a random comic you think she'd like? You did well, son. Your guess of how Harry would react was— oh. Where are we? Yeah, I suppose we do have a bit of catching you up to do. With Hephaestus' essence contained in this crystal, we may safely return Ericthonios above. But he would bind Hephaestus with only half his senses intact. You quite understated his adeptness in the art of interment. It was hardly what I had in mind, but a feat deserving of praise nonetheless. To be fair, we weren't aware he could do that either. Yeah, we should probably head back to the surface. I feel no trace of Hephaestus' poison in your mind. And for a blessing, it appears your body is none the worse for wear. Themis. I made my way here as soon as I could. I no longer sense Hephaestus, and the force assailing Pandaemonium's barriers has ceased. Are we rid of him for good and all? I believe so. Ericthonios and Lahabrea were able to inter him. I see. Despite his muddled senses, Ericthonios felt that to seal Hephaestus away was the proper course. It wasn't so noble as that. I only knew something had to be done, so I acted. Lahabrea, was that how you dealt with Hephaestus in the past? Indeed. He was naught but the parts of my memory and soul that I had cut away. A mass of ether without a material vessel. Storing his essence within a crystal was the most logical choice. On that matter, I believe the time has come for you to share the rest of your tale, of Hephaestus' creation, and Athena's end. I heard your words, but only vaguely, as if from under the surface of a deep pool. My mother wished to use me? I would hear the whole truth. I want to know what happened here, and what drove Athena to act as she did. I'm ready. What did happen here? Athena's brilliance outshone us all. Even the other members of the Words of Lahabrea were as children in comparison. So dedicated to research was she, that it was not unheard of her to forget meals or even sleep. Her mind was ever grasping for knowledge, and it was in this endless search that she became obsessed with uncovering the secrets of life. You see, while we can conceive life in various forms, the means of creating a soul are beyond our ken. Similarly, though we can enhance and alter our physical vessels, we have ever been bound to them. Athena's purpose was to shatter these limitations. Such limitations as we were not meant to surpass. She sought to enter the realm of the gods. Scarce few have the ability to comprehend what such a task entails, let alone the courage to attempt it. For most, a thought would be an idle fancy, considered once and then discarded. Not so for Athena. As leader of the Words of Lahabrea, I spoke with her often about transcending our being. From an academic perspective, the challenge has plagued countless researchers through the ages. It was during these musings that I began to formulate a theory, a means by which a person could meld with a creation. The weaknesses of one would be mitigated by the strengths of the other. Excuse me? And the result could be something greater than we have ever imagined. Although it was but a theory, Athena insisted I develop it further, curious about every detail along the way. Our conversations became more frequent, and our platonic relationship grew into something much more. I take it I was born not soon after. Then what happened? Just so. I believed she bore true affection for me, and was blind to her hidden intentions. When Pandaemonium was built, and she requested to lead the researchers, I saw no reason to deny her. Even setting aside our relationship, her accomplishments as a scholar made her the obvious choice. However, in giving her Pandaemonium, I also gave her free rein to conduct whatsoever experiments she could devise. And when you found out what she was doing, you killed her. I made haste to Pandaemonium the moment I learned of these hidden chambers. I left Xistus to keep watch from Tartarus's vestibule as I ventured deeper, knowing not what would await me. As for what occurred next, 'tis best to see with your own eyes. With our own eyes? That's the same magic that Xistus used. Is that me? If that's... then the woman must be Athena. You are well aware that out of respect for our neighbors in Elpis, the researchers of Pandaemonium are not to be masked. Yet you stand before me with your face covered. What petty defiance is this? What indeed? So quick you are to rebuke me, though you yourself have not set foot in these halls since their inception. You must have known you could not conceal this from myself and Xistus forever. As well you know that I cannot allow it to continue. I shall say this but once. Release Ericthonios, else I shall have no choice but to strike you down. I would meet my ends at the hands of none other. However, ere my time has come, I will have you know the why of it. Then you will not desist. Once you understand what has driven me this far, you shall see that stopping was never an option. The feelings of one weigh little against the needs of the entire star. Of course, of that I am well aware. But you did not deign to descend from your lofty heights simply to lecture me as you would a child. You have an interest in my motivations, What possessed Athena, peerless researcher and mother to the son of the great Lahabrea, to embark upon the path to her downfall? History will demand an answer. It is you who deserves one. Give me your hand, Lahabrea, and we shall know one another more deeply than ever before. Oh. Impossible. You bonded your souls? Aye. That the boundaries between us would cease to be. She offered me everything to be understood. I found myself unable to refuse. At that moment, my mind was a storm of questions. Yet one roared the loudest. Did Athena ever truly love me? I am become thee, memory and mind. And I thee. They actually fused their souls? Can you feel it? My heart, all that I am. Yes, as if it were my own. A fathomless desire to dissect the mysteries of life, to transcend our mortal flesh and bleed into a higher plane of existence. An unquenchable thirst for knowledge, not a single thought spared for another, for the star. How disappointing. Yet what is known cannot be unknown. You have beheld my life's work. Try as you might to excise the memory, the seed of desire remains, and when it takes root, you too shall be consumed by the selfsame fervor. I will dig it out. I will dispense with the corruption in my soul ere your rotten insight spreads. It was my weakness that let this wickedness fester. But never again. Today I cast aside fickle emotion and abide in duty alone. Today I renounce all that I was and live only as Lahabrea. Is that how... So that's where Hephaestus came from. Thus did I forsake the part of myself that had been polluted by Athena, sealing it within a crystal. Never did I think I would one day face those memories made flesh. Forgive my bluntness, but your actions bordered on insanity. To go to such lengths to escape your memories, you nearly rewrote your very existence. Rest assured, The change did not go unnoticed by our colleagues in the convocation. Igiorum and Emmet Selk in particular made plain the suspicions they harbored. As well they should have. That you escaped with your life was nothing short of a miracle. Why didn't you destroy the crystal then and there? Did you think to one day make use of the knowledge it contained? I will not deny such considerations played into my decision. But my main motivation was fear. I had never attempted such a feat before. The crystal was my sole recourse should something go awry with the remainder of my soul. In hindsight, to cling to it was a mistake born of doubt. Athena must have anticipated that I would resort to such measures, and prepared a vessel beforehand that would accept the dregs of my soul. Hephaestus doubtless believed he was performing his duty, as a husband and father should. Yet in truth, he was but a puppet, being pulled to and fro by Athena's desires. His goal was not to raise himself high. He thought only of seeing his dear Athena live again, that she might finish what she began. Yet for all of that, he and I were alike. We yet shared a fatal flaw, you see. Our need for control blinded us to our perspectives. While I was enthralled to Hephaestus, you called out to me. What say you now? Does Lahabrea speak true? I believe you can trust him. I just want to know one thing. Did you truly believe that hiding the truth was best for me? Even knowing how I felt about my mother? The Lahabrea I know had a fatal flaw after all. I'm still not convinced. I have said all that I can say. Now it is for you to choose to believe me, or not. The Lahabrea I know holds duty above all else. I would sooner prostrate myself before an erupting volcano than place my fickle emotions in his path. When you return to the surface, you'll doubtless don that mask once more. So before we climb out of this forsaken pit, I suppose I should say... Thank you, Hephaestus. That must have been his name. Before he took the title of Lahabrea. I have said all that needs to be said. From this moment forward, I pledge that my heart shall not lead me astray. Hephaestus was far more than an imitation of Lahabrea. He was quite literally a part of him. But Lahabrea, to me, is a man who thinks of naught but his duty. By casting aside the burden that Hephaestus represented, he shall become ever more himself, in a way. I've heard enough. There's more I would yet discuss, but we should first return to Pandaemonium's gates. I'll gather my thoughts on the way. Yes, we should be leaving. No need to remain here now, now the battle's over. We have regained control of the facility, but it shall take some time until it shall take some time yet until things are in working order again. Athena viewed Ericthonios as the ideal test subject. Hephaestus' research must have been very nearly complete to seek him out like he did. Dread to think how much longer we had left. I owe you an apology, Sorin. It was due to my own inexperience that Hephaestus was so easily able to take hold of my mind. I also owe you thanks. If you and Themis hadn't chosen to brave the chaos occurring in Pandaemonium, then I would never have known Lahabrea's story. My father's story. Just glad I could be of help. It was a tale I too was fascinated to hear. I very much look forward to speaking with Asim upon my return. I cannot help but wonder how much of this he foresaw. I am afraid I cannot allow that, Elizabeth. So long as you retain control of Pandaemonium, there is work to be done. But of course, I shall first free the remaining warders and restore this place to its former glory. Using the facilities in Tartarus, we should be able to reverse the changes made to their bodies and minds. I shall stay behind to oversee the process. That is well, but I must yet learn why I was considered the key to Hephaestus' experiments, and how he intended to revive Athena. Such questions are best left unanswered. In fact, I forbid the pursuit of that knowledge. The boundary between man and creation shall never again be crossed. And I intend to destroy the crystal containing Hephaestus' essence, that this mistake never again repeats. I see no reason to gainsay your judgment. There is yet the matter of your crystal, however. Truth be told, I had not considered its origin until I saw the one containing Hephaestus' ether. I was struck by how wholly different they were. There is another? Right. It's what brought me here. It seemed to be like a call for help. While imbuing a crystal with memories is a simple process, storing a message, a warning even, would be something altogether more complex. This also means that someone besides the present company, and Asim, was aware of the plot unfolding within Pandaemonium. Then, why would they not make themselves known, even now? No threats remain. Perhaps it was one of the other warders. We shall question them after they are freed. suppose that's probably the most likely solution, right? Shouldn't have taken you down. Oh. At least you did find it. That was a text message, more difficult than live. I imagine that is probably to do with transplanting memories is just kind of copy and paste magic. Well, as actually creating a message. Is actual kind of is an act of creation, even if a small one. But you'd think with their mastery over creation magic that it still wouldn't be too copy and paste from a parchment. Yeah. We'll just have to accept that that's the limits of magic. Cool. And it's possible as well, like, it needed to be stored in a format well enough for other people to read. Images were better. Because yeah, it wasn't even a text message, it was like a psychic message. It wasn't even auditory because we didn't hear the message. That task may take some time. A resource I'd rather not steal more of from you. Return at your leisure and we will share our results then. You've done more than enough for the time being. I am of the same mind. Leave the loose ends to us and continue upon your journey. Or, if you are so inclined, take a much-needed repose. This talk of journey smacks of Azam. As well it should. He has pledged to keep moving until he has seen every corner of the world. If you do find yourself a spare moment, you might bring that crystal of yours to Lahabrea. He may be able to offer further insight. Until then, my friend. Right. Should I ask Lahabrea about it? The crystal that hangs from Ericthonios' waist was a gift from me, made in the hopes that it would spark growth in his aptitude for magic. It is plain he no longer acquires it, but I see no reason he cannot wear it for a while longer. I look forward to your returning with the crystal, but worry not. I shall try my level best to stave off loneliness while you are gone. As you may have noticed during our battle, Lahabrea's mask crowns me when I have transformed. It is said that we manifest in a way that reflects our innermost selves. I had thought that mask a symbol of the chains that bound my heart, but recent events have caused me to reconsider that assumption. I never actually noticed. I'll have to see again, like if I do the Ericthonios fight again, to kind of like look for the Lahabrea mark on him. Guess I should make a report back to Professor. See if maybe he's returned. Maybe I can get the crystal off him. Rosno's there, but I don't see Rosno? Why, if it isn't Sorin? Excuse me if I'm not my usual chipper self, but we have not been without our difficulties in your absence. You see, communication with the airship Professor Claudian commissioned for his search was lost some time ago, and now we have quite lost track of where he might be. That's not good. And to make matters worse, Nimjiji has sent word of an unusually large amount of energy coming from somewhere within the Ethereal Sea. I was just on my way to the Aetoscope, in fact. Please, you must come with me. Of course. What's happening here? how is... What is Pandaemonium doing here? What is that? Is it real? Why is it that whenever danger visits the world, you are never far behind? Fortuno. And you too. Professor Claudian's assistants, I take it. As you arrived before me, I take it you were involved in this. I would thank you to furnish me with an explanation. I know what it is, but I haven't a clue why it's here. While the research summary you submitted to the forum gave us no cause for concern, these details are alarming. The professor's last message indicated he was on his way to Az's lab, but we know not whether he ever reached his destination. A rash endeavor, even for Claudian. But he has ever allowed the thrill of discovery to cloud his better judgment. We have no recourse but to entreat Ishgard's aid in searching for him. As for that unsightly fortress which has materialized in the ethereal sea, Pandaemonium was it? It cannot be left alone. For the time being, information regarding this matter must be strictly controlled so as to minimize panic. We will gather those with knowledge of the ethereal sea, and continue monitoring it for further irregularities. You two, submit a detailed report to the forum at once. At present, we have far more questions than answers. Nevertheless, I would ask for your assistance at such a time that our investigation has concluded. Of course. I'll stay nearby, just in case it's urgent. Very good. Now, if you will excuse me, I must apprise the forum of what has occurred here. This is not the development I was expecting. Just when we need him the most, Professor Claudian remains unaccounted for. He even brought the crystal with him. We are left with scarce few straws to grasp at. While I am but a lowly assistant, even I can see that our two current problems are likely related. The same party or phenomenon may be responsible for both. Conversely, I now see that my unexperienced imagination failed to do Pandaemonium's pitiless spires justice. I can only wonder if the facility itself traversed the ages. Did the creations within do the same? What of the keywords? But answers to these questions shall come in time, I'm sure. For now, I must do as Master Fulchino asked and write that report. Excuse me? As for you, Sorin, pray get what rest your responsibilities will allow. When next we call upon you, I wager we shall need you in prime condition. Oh, but then the next one is, yep, the beginning of Anavasius. Okay, this... Who... Of course I got the really quick cues when the stream was kind of looking like it might be shorter anyway. So I'll quickly return to Old Charlian. See if I can upgrade Sorin's gear some more. But yeah, that looks like I'll be... Like, I'll finish up here. Yeah, I can't think of much else to do. See, streams have been a little... I wasn't expecting 2 streams in a row to be short. Oh, yesterday was entirely my fault for not making sure I got the sleep I should have been getting. No more gear for me to get. Not that I can afford anyway. So yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. No, I won't be back tomorrow. Tomorrow is Wednesday. I'll be back on Thursday with more Persona 5 Strikers, where I'll just be continuing on through Mayor Mariko's palace and seeing. So I think we don't have. We'll probably finish the palace next stream. Because we didn't have all that much left to do. I feel like there was one keep left. And then it's probably finding the memory. What did we call it? The trauma cell? I think it was the trauma cell we ended up calling it. Ooh, here's a good spot, I think. I still am guessing that Mariko's trauma cell is connected to the girl who was killed during the winter festival, or I can't remember exactly what it was, but there's like a winter event going on, and she was crushed by a snow sculpture. And then on Friday it'll be a later stream, but hopefully that will work for trying to make sure that the queue times are kept brief, so that I can get all of Anabasius done in a single stream. And then next week, yeah, the plan is for me to continue with Persona 5 Strikers, but the other streams I'm going to put a poll up on my Discord that will, yeah, for various more horror and spooky games that I have to play over the second half of October and kind of moving into November, which I'm kind of looking forward to. Yep, my list of horror games. So I think I've got at least 3. I think I definitely have at least 3 horror-ish games to put up, and I'm fairly certain 2 of them are kind of like 1 week at most, like 2 streams at most. The other, I'm not quite sure how long it'll take me. But yeah, that'll be up on Discord for you to vote on which ones I do first. I plan to do all of the games I'll be posting there. It's just a matter of I'll do the most popular ones first. But yeah, for tonight, that's going to be me finishing up. So, all I'll say is thank you for coming along. I do hope you enjoyed. It's been a shorter one, but sometimes that's not always a bad thing. And yeah, until next time, have a good evening, have a good night, and goodbye.